All right, let's head straight to the markets now. Let's see what the picture is. In Africa, we see it majorly red with the NGX All-Share Index, even though still around that all-time high. We're seeing a pullback, 4 basis points at this point, but that could flip over before the end of trade today. That's the last trading day for this week and for the month. And in South Africa, we see 0.16% down, 94,575 points there. All right, let's get a drill down on the fixed income market now. Since 2017, Nigeria's federal government has raised over 2.2 trillion naira through its sovereign Sukuk program, a non-interest ethical investment instrument designed to fund critical infrastructure like roads, bridges across the country. I was seeing oversubscription for the latest offering. I guess it's clear this initiative has captured the attention of both institutional and retail investors. Let's talk more now to Akbere Oputu, the chief dealer at Lotus Bank. Great to have you, Akbere.
On the program.
Always great to have you. So here we have an oversubscription now, a big one at this point for the latest offering. I guess investors are really confident, this investment vehicle.
Oh, yes, they are. So it's a 2.2 trillion subscription. We can see that investors are really liking to this particular instrument. And from the subscription, we could see a lot of players in the market. We saw the retail investors, we saw conventional banks, the non-interest bank, pension funds, asset managers. So it costs across every institution. The subscription really showed that the country is ready for high interest yield instruments and also to support government infrastructures in the country.
So how does the Sukuk model? We know definitely is non-interest at this point, and it's supposed to be some kind of shared agreement there. You share the loss, you also share the profits at this point. So talk to us about this latest one, and does it mean not much burden for the Nigerian government? We know it's still borrowing.
Okay, so the way the Sukuk instrument works, why it is different from your regular FGN bond and your regular treasury bill is the fact that there is an underlying asset for which the project or the funds are being raised. So when we talk about interest in conventional bank, we talk about profit in the non-interest banking space. So what we see is that from the construction of these bridges, from these road projects, government is actually raising funds, they are borrowing, and the expectation is that from the profit from the facility or from the profit from the construction or the project, they will be able to allocate these funds to, or these profits to individual investors who have come in to invest in this project. If you see from the beginning, unlike your OMO bills and your FGM bonds, where the actual profit payout is unknown from the beginning, for this Sukuk, you actually know from the moment you invest what the actual profit calculation that government is expecting to get from this project over time. So that 19.75 profit instrument is known from the onset. So when investors come into it, the end is kind of known from the beginning. So it's actually a way to get inclusion, financial inclusion for those individuals who are actually worried about investing in ethical instruments. So they actually know where their funds are being utilized. So the project, the instrument actually is all encompassing, and it's to work with the federal government on renewed hope for Nigerians and how to see that we get our country infrastructures working for the people, the masses, the individuals. Everybody is actually involved in making Nigeria grow.
Yes, and definitely looking at the cumulative performance from 2017 to about to 2025, we're seeing total subscriptions about 2.2 trillion, as you said, total funds raised 1.09 trillion. We're seeing total roads constructed, rehabilitated about over 4,100 kilometers of roads here. So, in real terms, how would you say, Sukuk-funded infrastructure and impacting Nigerians? Are we seeing it in the rural areas and underserved areas at all?
Okay, so this is actually the seventh issuance. Like you mentioned, this started in 2017, and investors have followed this for over 7 years. It means that we've had recurrent investors in this paper. So you can actually see what these funds are being utilized for. If you go to the CMS, if you live in Lagos, I've mentioned this before, you can see what the Sukuk 5 was used for to do the CMS Marina Road. So I know there are a lot of ongoing projects as well in the north that the funds have actually been raised for and the project executed. 2.2 trillion is a mind-blowing sum. We don't even see that much sum when we see OMO insurances and when we see FGM bonds issued. That shows a lot of investors clamoring for this instrument. And what the DMO did was to stick to the very amount that was on issue from the beginning. So it was 300 billion on offer. It was still 300 billion that was subscribed to or that was sold. That shows that if we have a project, or it gives you confidence in the government, if the government has said the cost of doing this project will cost us 300 billion, despite a subscription of 2.2 trillion, they still went ahead and stuck to the initial 300 billion. That shows that they've not come up with a just fictitious paper, and they're sticking to the project. And that's why a lot of people like to invest in the Sukuk bond. It's trust where your money is being put on. That's just it.
Right, and looking at the private sector, is the private sector having some kind of participation when it comes to non-interest financial institutions and also households? You think we're also seeing them get some of these kind of non-interest loans at this time to help maybe for mortgages? You're trying to buy a car. Are we seeing that happening at all here?
Oh, yes. So I will still go back to how the DMO chose to apportion the Sukuk at the end of the day. If you see the retail investors who keyed into this paper, they got 100% of how much they put actually. And that was really, really good of the DMO to do that. It just shows that we're willing to grow with the retail investors. If you're looking for where to put your money, you're looking for where to borrow funds or place your excesses at 19.75 with over 20% yield, it's actually good return. And most of these retail investors, we see them coming back to the non-interest bank to actually take those loans at single. Even we're working with the likes of the Bank of Industries to see that loans are given to small-scale businesses. The DMO, this federal government are actually giving 0% loans to retail individuals as low as 5 million naira. You can approach the Bank of Industry and see how you can assess these loans when you meet the criteria. So the administration is actually doing a lot for retail businesses to see how they can participate in growing the economy as well.
All right, definitely. Are you seeing this Sukuk model as a sustainable long-term solution for infrastructure financing, going forward? Is that what you're seeing?
Yes, I think so. The Sukuk bond issuance has come to stay. And there are lots of non-interest banks that are actually coming up right now. So the paper is very, very important for us because there are very few ethical instruments that you have trading in the Nigerian market. So this is one of them, and this is one of them that has been proven over time to for investors so that they actually paid. Like last year, we redeemed the first Sukuk issuance, which was in 2024. So we've tested it. We've seen that it is trustworthy. It's a good paper to invest in, and it's an ethical paper. So it is here to stay.
All right, definitely. We'll keep tracking the growth, going forward for this financial instrument. Thank you so much. It was great having you. Akbaro Putu, she's a chief dealer at Lotus Bank. Thank you for coming on today. Happy Friday.
you, Radin.